Mr. Alderman asked me a little bit ago, how deep to plant a tomato?
Right.
Well, if it's my tomato, these little ones down here does not need on there. You need to pinch that one off right there and go into here. Only for, one reason too, is because that whole stem is roots. And the more you get down, in the ground, the more this plant's gonna root. So many people make a mistake and they want to put a tomato in the ground like you would a pepper. It'll probably yield 30 or maybe 35%. But when you sink it on down into here, that whole stem is picking up roots for you. And you'll have more tomatoes and you'll know what to do with. That is very, very, very important about growing tomatoes. And then also too, it's very important to take your finger and tear them roots up right there a little bit so they can take off.
Well, I'll give it a try.
That don't look like much here now, because tomato, I'm going to use this. Tomato, how much sense they got? The way I use it. Up here, it knows to stay healthy and green. It's shedding all these welfares down here, as I call welfares, they don't need on there. If our government was that smart, this country would be in a lot better shape. A tomato's smarter than the government is.
Now, you said that something about the farmer's market down there. How's the farmer's market doing?
I believe, Mr. Alderman, the farmer's market, from what I'm seeing and hearing and being down there, I think this year it is totally going to explode. And what we need to have down here, one thing is what we need to have is more elderly people getting involved in this. To add money to that little, I ain't gonna say little, but that Social Security check.
Yeah.
So this farmer's market could be one of the best things, in my opinion, could ever happen to this county right now. But right now it's looking good. We've been having 7 and 8 down there, I think 7 and 8, every Saturday, and produce and stuff in gardens hasn't come on yet.
Yeah, and you go down there on Saturday.
Oh yes, Larry Lucas and Phyllis Lucas, I can't get away from here, so Larry and Phyllis Lucas sells from me down there.
Oh, that's good. I know them. They're nice people.
And also crafts. Anybody's got crafts, something to make, they can bring down there.
That's great. I just think it's a great idea. Now, you said there's some girl working on local crops?
She's out there encouraging people to grow on their farmland. And this produce is to go to restaurants and just, restaurants and the farmer's market to get it a little bit larger. Yes, and she's working this. I don't remember her name now. She's working this about every day and encouraging people to grow, because farmland anymore is obsolete. People just sitting paying taxes. What we need to do, and what we need to do, is turn this into produce.
Yes.
Growing stuff to sell.
Truck crops.
And yes. And then I'll talk to her on this year, maybe in the future, if it gets out of proportion, if the restaurants can't handle all this, maybe, and I'll talk to her on this, maybe there could be a produce truck come in here and pick up after the farmer's market is over with, which that's in the making right now though. But if it blows out of proportion, and I've already talked to one produce buyer, a big one, and he was interested. He didn't commit himself, but he was interested. If this thing would happen to just blow completely out of proportion, yes. And that way, anybody that's got a little bit of farmland, they can take that little acreage or 10 acres, whatever, and turn it into produce. I know a guy right now. It was here last week, and she talked with him, and he's putting out an acre of potatoes. Oh yes, and he's a big farmer. Yeah, he's a big farmer. That's an extra surplus you can add onto that farmland, maybe nothing else to pay your taxes. So it's going to be great. We just need more people shoving this thing. Yes.